Students, so today we'll go for the next concept of the IR spectroscopy in mononuclear carbonyls. So it was observed that the frequency and the band assignment for mononuclear carbonyls of tetrahedral and trigonal bipyramidal TBP, trigonal bipyramidal, which comes to be D3H point group, D3H, and octahedral uh, structures. The complexes, you can see that was analyzed on the most of this carbonyl stretchings, and it was done by Jones, Jonas and co-workers. They carried out many experiments on the extensive vibrations study mode of the carbonyls. So the carbonyls, as you know, in previous semester you have learned that the sigma bond, they are going to form the sigma bond with the metal like this. And you can see here carbonyl having the field orbital, and you can see that the electrons are from the field orbital of the carbonyl donated to the empty orbital of the metal here, so forming the sigma bond in this way. So carbonyl like this, so you are going to see the sigma bond is formed. So similarly, the synergetic effect, you have learnt it previously, pi bond if you see here. So now metal like this, so plus minus minus plus. Now what will happen here, carbonyl having the empty orbital here like this. Here it is plus minus, and you can see here there is the donation of the electrons from the filled metal orbital to the empty orbital, and giving you the like this pi bond orbitals. So this you have learned already, synergic effect of the carbonyl compound, minus plus, this is so this is pi bond and this is sigma bond. So this is how the sigma and pi bonding in metal carbonyls usually is very important, and we call it Duncan chart rule. This video, in the previous video you have seen. Now if you go for the vibrational frequency, if you go for the vibrational frequency band, assignment of the mononuclear carbonyls. So some we will discuss it here. You take the compounds like nickel carbonyl, NiCO4 symmetry if you see, so tetrahedral symmetry, and usually state of this is gas state, nickel carbonyl. And if you see the frequency of CO, so it is 2131 per centimeter, and 2050. This 2131 is shown by the orbital, that is A1G, molecular orbital, A1G, and 2057 will be shown by F2 orbitals. Similarly, nu of MC, metal to carbon, so you can see here, so 367.5 of A1, and 421 of F2. So like this, this frequency of metal to carbon is been observed, and you can see delta of MCO, metal to carbonyl. So this frequency will be shown at 380 per centimeter of E group, orbital, then 458 of F2, and 300 and 523, 300 and 523. This is F2, then F2, F1, F2 again, F1, F2. So this is how. And again one more you can see of stretching of M, metal to carbon MCC, and that is you can see 64 of E group and 80 of F2 like this. So this is very much important. See A, F2, this all point groups I think you have learned in the group theory. In the group theory you come all this A1G, A2G, A2T2G, EG. So energy levels, and the different energy levels you can see here, different orbitals here. So you can see they are going to show the different stretching frequencies. So carbonyl of A1G you can see in a level 2131, that's an F2, you can see 2050. Similarly, metal to carbon you can see here A1 and F2. So like this for different, this is also important very. So this I have given because you should know the group theory of these compounds. So different energy levels, different orbitals will have the different vibrational frequencies will be shown here. So like this, and if you go for similarly another example, that is the most we have learned, that is iron tetracarbonyl FeCO4 minus 2. So this also, if you take it as a tetrahedral in the solution form, so this is gaseous form, so this will be in the solution form. Okay, so the is iron tetracarbonyl, so solution form. And if you see here, so you are going to say same thing here, carbonyl stretching here. So here for carbonyl stretching for this one, you get it at 2002 per centimeter, that is of A1. Okay, A1 energy level, and 1890 of F2 energy level. So this is what about the carbonyl frequency for this complex. Similarly, if you go for 17 iron tetracarbonyl 2000 solution 1788, sorry, so don't take 1788, okay, 1788 per centimeter, 1788, yeah, almost 1788 per centimeter, 1788 both per centimeter, and that is of A1 and F2. This is F2, correct, A1 and F2. So this is what. And if you see metal to carbonyl, so 464, so here 464 per centimeter, and 644 per centimeter metal to carbonyl stretching, and metal to CO, metal to carbon, and this is metal to carbonyl stretching. If you see here, so of this 550 and 7, around 550, okay, per centimeter, and different energy levels will give different orbitals, will give different 550, 785, and this way. So like this very complicated concept of the IR spectroscopy, and but this is how you can see that the IR helps us to according to point groups. So D4H, and if you go for D4H, palladium tetracarbonyl, okay, palladium tetracarbonyl, PdCO4, CO4, palladium tetracarbonyl plus. So if you go this is having the 4D4H point group, okay, D4H point group, which is solid in nature. And if you see this palladium tetracarbonyl plus complex, this also you can see that different vibrations at different energy levels, A1G, B1G. So at 2000 level, you are going to see the vibrations frequency of these complexes. Okay, so this is what, and if you see the FeCO5, iron pentacarbonyl, and MCO6, metal carbonyl, where M tungsten, okay, MCO6 metal, where MCO6, where M you can take chromium, molybdenum, tungsten, like this. Chromium, M stands for chromium, vanadium, tungsten. Okay, so they include the C13 and oxygen 18 species. Okay, and they exhibits the F1U, force constant F1U, force of gas phase spectra. Okay, so they also have such type of, also will have the different vibrational frequencies. Okay, so like this, the main IR helps us to know the exact structure. So now if you go in general, if you see that the vibrational of CO is lowered, okay, the carbonyl vibration is lowered. Generally you can see that as the negative charge on the metal carbonyls increases. For example, if you see metal carbonyl here, so if you take the examples of NiCO4, okay, uh, and COCO4, tetracarbonyl cobalt, and iron tetracarbonyl cobalt minus 2. Okay, this is minus, so this is neutral compound. And if you see the vibration, it comes to be 2094 per centimeter, then 1946 per centimeter, 1788 for centimeter. So see here, so this is increasing way like this. Okay, it is increasing here. So what does this show? That is negative charge on the metal carbonyl increases. So here minus 2, here nothing is there, neutral. So as it increases, so there is a lowering of the frequency. New CO frequency is lowered here. Okay, so frequency of carbonyl is lowered. So this is what one more interesting thing we can see here. And if you see uh, the bond scheme, this indicate that the metal carbonyl pi back bonding increases. Okay, so as the negative charge increases, so here what happens, the metal to pi bond increases as the negative charge increases, and that results in lowering the frequency. Okay, so this is how one parameter we can generalize. Okay, with the help of this IR frequencies. And even if you see it depends on the structure of the frequency, that is nu CO, depends on the interaction of the solvents with respect to the ions present in the solvents. For example, if you take the complex of sodium cobalt, okay, tetracarbonyl. So, okay, sodium tetracarbonyl cobalt complex. If you see um, in THF solution, tetrahydrofluorone solution, if you see the interaction of this and how the frequency varies here. So if you see solvent separated one system, one, that is solvent separated solvent separated ion pair. So we can take it here like this: S Na plus S A minus S. So you can take it in this way: 1 2 3, and here also solvent. So this is solvent separated ion pair. That means the S stands for solvent here, and A minus stands for the anion of the solvent here. So solvent separated, see here, solvent Na plus solvent A plus, that is solvent separated ion pair. If you see this type of arrangement, so you can see that 1887 per centimeter, okay, that tetrahedral structure. So you can see the absorption 1887 tetrahedral structure. You can see this is the absorption. You can see similarly, if you go for contact ion pairs, contact ion pair. So that means what is that? Sulfur, solvent Na plus, okay, A minus S. So this is solvent, this is solvent, this is solvent, this is solvent. Here this is what? Na plus A minus. So this is contact ion pair. If this condition is there in the second, as stated in the second, so here the vibrations will be 1899, okay, 1899, 1856 per centimeter, and this is of 3 CV, point group of C3V, sorry. So 1889 and 1856 per centimeter if this is in contact ion pair in this way. And the final, you can see that triple ion pair. So one more thing is there, that is triple ion pair. So here what will happen in solvent? So A minus Na plus A minus solvent. Now this is triple ion. This is there. A minus of the solvent, ion of the solvent, again Na plus of this complex, sodium tetracarbonyl cobalt complex, Na plus, and so this triple ion condition is there. So here you can get it as 906 per centimeter or 1846 per centimeter, 1846 per centimeter, and that is also C3V point group. So like this, so different you can see here. So even it plays the structure and vibrations of frequency. It depends on the anion of the solvent uh, as well as the nature, okay, how they are placed when taking the IR spectroscopy. So this is how one concept of the IR spectroscopy in mononuclear carbonyl compounds, okay. And you can see that in some of the complex, there is increase in carbonyl frequency. It is shifted to higher frequency because of the sigma bonding, okay. Because of the sigma bonding, the frequency is shifted in some of the complex to higher frequencies, so higher side frequency. And like some of the examples, like Hg mercury dicarbonyl plus 2, okay, Hg CO2 plus 2. Here you can see the metal carbonyl cations plus 2. So new frequency you can see here 2281, okay, 2281 per centimeter. And asymmetric, this symmetric stretching, and here asymmetric stretching you can see at 2278 per centimeter, okay. So like this, so it is going to be in a higher side. Even if you go for gold, CaUCO twice, gold dicarbonyl, gold plus positive here. So it is 2246 of symmetric stretching, and asymmetric stretching 2210 per centimeter, 2210 per centimeter. This is how in some of the cationic species they are shifted. The carbonyl frequency is shifted to the higher side, okay. So like this, we can see that, and even the IR spectroscopy is utilized to sometimes elucidate the modes of carbon monoxide bonding on the surface of the metal single crystals, okay. So if this is a surface of metal crystals like SiO2, okay, you think that this is a crystal, and you can, this is a rhodium, okay, a metal surface. So this is carbonyl like this, okay. So carbonyl metal and here it is like this. Okay, C double bond O. Okay, and M here oxygen in this way something. Okay, so you can see that the metal oxides catalyst observed here. So various modes of binding, the IR spectra, you can see the carbon monoxide adsorbed here on the surface of the platinum or rhodium, metal at if you see 85 to 300 Kelvin. They show the terminal stretching of carbonyl at 2110 per centimeter. Okay, this is what, and bridging of carbon monoxide, bridging frequency of 1842 of 2 folds and 1842 and 1822 per so per centimeter. Okay, so this is how, and this is how I think this is how the role of the mononuclear carbonyls, they play important role here in the presence of the IR spectroscopy. So in today's video, you have learned all the concepts of the mononuclear carbonyls, the IR frequencies, and its mode of bonding, sigma bond and pi bonding, and different frequencies here, modes of frequencies, different point energy levels, and how the frequencies are changing according to energy level, and how they are going to help. And even in some cases, we have learned regarding the adsorption mechanism, and as the absorption, how the frequency is varying. So these all things we have learned today in the mononuclear IRs applications of carbonyls. Okay, in the next video we'll go for the polynuclear carbonyls, as been shown, has been is there in the syllabus copy. Okay, hope you understood this concept. Thank you.